All right, what's up, guys? So I said that I was going to go over the differences on the cheap Alibaba sway bar setup versus like the ASR. So on this setup, we have the like Alibaba, AliExpress rear subframe brace, and then we also have the Alibaba sway bar itself. So the sway bar itself was like 50 bucks. The brace there, I bought it secondhand and it was like 20 bucks. And then the bolts you can see that are right about there, those are actually from ASR. So in order to use those, you actually have to drill the fake subframe. If you would buy the real ASR subframe, those holes are larger for those washers that are right there outside the head. But I already had this brace and I just wanted to use it and see how it worked. I will say that I have replaced the Heim joint that's over here. You can't really see it. You can see it on this one right about there. I did replace the right hand side because it was making a lot of noise, but I think that honestly the sway bar itself is not made within like the correct tolerance of the two sides being in the same spot, because I had to put I had to leave this side on and then put that side on and then put some pressure to force the bar up and then get it in the same location for the length of the Heim joints. And I think that's what was causing the noise on one side, because one was a little different length than the other side. But on and I think that again is because of the cheaper stuff. I do have real ASR lower control arms there, so those are the spherical ones. Those actually surprisingly make less noise than the cheap eBay ones that have bushings in them. So I swapped those out because they were just extremely loud, and I wanted to have spherical stuff on this one. So far the difference is that the sway bar itself is definitely not the best. I mean, it's 50 bucks, compared to ASR, which is like $180 or something like that. Also too, I have the function and form shocks on here. I have had to adjust those several times to get the spring rate the same on both sides and then get the height right on both sides. Again, something I didn't really like on this one versus the EG. I will say the EG definitely has it has PCI lower control arms and ASR subframe and the control arm as well. And I will say that bolted up very, very nice. Everything lined up. There was no having to preload anything. There was no having to buy different bolts. Also on this subframe, I've had to buy or modify or make several different sets of bolts to get everything to work correctly. I did break one also putting it on the very first time. So would I say that this setup is worth going through all that trouble to save maybe $100 or something like that? I'm gonna go ahead and say no. It's definitely not worth it. When you can buy an ASR one that comes with all the proper stuff, a good quality sway bar, a good subframe brace that you don't have to find bolts for or anything. Like I said, I got it secondhand, so I wanted to use it and I wanted to see how it worked. But definitely would not do it again. I would definitely opt to buying the right proper stuff from ASR, like I said, which is on this one right here. And this car makes a little bit of noise, but it's full spheric everything. I mean, right there you can see the different quality in the Heim joint itself and the sway bar and the brace. I mean, it just looks so much better, a lot better quality. There's no finding bolts, there's nothing that doesn't line up. The bolts right there that hold the bracket on behind there are a lot bigger. The bolts are a lot better quality that come for the mounts right here. The mounts themselves are better quality. I mean, everything that you're paying for from the ASR name is definitely worth it. Like I said, there was no second guessing on the hardware. Literally everything bolted up. And like I said, I do have PCI arms on this one, and then the real ASR on this one. And I believe that you can get these a little bit cheaper on Password JDM, but all in all, to save a couple bucks, I would go ahead and say it's not even worth it. If your goal is to have a good quality sway bar and actually have it work like it should for its intended purpose of actually helping control the rear end, I'm gonna go ahead and say spend the extra money, get the ASR. It's definitely worth it. I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I have no affiliation with any of them. I just wanted to make this quick video about the differences and what I had to go through to get the other one to work on the EK. Now granted, this is an EG. A lot of the parts are more refined on the EG than they are on the EK. A lot more people buy parts for the EG, obviously, and they've just been out a lot longer. But all I'm saying is that the ASR quality is going to be a lot better. If you're worried about spending, you know, $100 extra or $80 or whatever it would be over buying the cheaper quality stuff from Alibaba, trust me, it's gonna make it does make a difference. The quality is a lot better. So if anybody had that, you know, question whether you want to spend more money on the ASR one, it is definitely worth it. So you know, whatever that's worth. You know, my goal with this car, I'm kind of yapping a lot, but my goal with this car was to build a cheaper budget car that you could literally build and be obtainable in your car. So I'm going to go over like what everything we did to this car and how much everything costs and still what we're going to do to it. So if you guys want to see that update, definitely drop a comment, let me know, because we're going to go over the full breakdown. It does have a B18C swap and you know, all that stuff, and we're going to go over everything that we did to this car. So check you guys next time, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, please. Our channel is growing a lot, and it just helps us and definitely helps our shop get out some parts. So thanks guys.